Hi there, this is Kathy Crow here at the Crow Cottage, and I think I have my camera upside down. No, it is correct. Oh, good. Well, it wouldn't matter to you anyway, whether I was upside down or not. You would figure it out. You probably had to before, but actually I'm just talking about like flipped. So that I have no idea where you are, because you are the most important part of this story, you know. The only reason I do this stuff is really to give a whole lot of you people a great way to enjoy yourselves, do great things for other people. It's always surprising how many people are impacted by a card. Don't ever underestimate what you do. And I like to do fun folds because they're fun. They're super fun for me to do. So today we are going to go through a whole bunch of these. I actually have the dimensions written out on paper for myself to read. You'll see them, but you do have to watch these videos to see how to do stuff. I don't have time anymore to take the time to do written tutorials. So unless you are on my team, then you can get them, but even they have to generally request them. And they've been doing this for so long that they rarely do that because they already know how to do it. They're good. They're really good. So anyhow, I hope you enjoy what we're going to do. The paper that I'm going to show, that is this paper. This is Stampin' Up's, actually the Christmas paper that I liked the best this year. It was called Elegant Pine Snowflakes. It will be back, but it is currently unavailable. Don't give up on it. It'll be back because actually the stamp set and dies are there. It's just the suite and the actual paper. I suspect it's the paper that is preventing the suite from being sold. So you can still get the stamp and dies. I'm not using those. Oh, you know what I did forget? And I put all my Christmas stamps away, I bet. I do see a stack of them over there. So on my piano. So hopefully those are what I used, because I used a whole bunch of old things today, like I have been doing a lot of lately. And I enjoy using them, and I encourage people not to sell their stuff, to hang on to it. You can sell things that you don't want to use anymore, but the truth is that if you don't want it, you're probably not going to get much money for it. There might be somebody who would want it, though. You never do know. Tastes are different all around. You know, some of the things that I like the best, like I might even show you today, you're thinking, why did I sell that thing or just even give it away? Why did I sell that for $5? And it cost me probably, you know, at the time you would have been selling anything for $5. It probably would have cost you $2 to send. Well, now it costs you $10 to send, and you have to charge a pretty good amount just to break even. So that's why you want to hang on to your stamp sets. Having said that, we are going to just go ahead and get started. So you don't have to hear me lecturing you about that anymore, because actually nobody wants to hear lectures. I'm trying to see where is, oh, there it is. Oh man, I almost knocked my teacup over. That would have been really bad. So let me move my teacup so that it doesn't happen, because it could. Let me put everything into perspective here so that I know what's what. And then we can get started. Because I would like to get through all of these projects today. Should be able to. Because I don't always do that. I usually just have time to do one thing. But I have cut everything out today so that you won't see me doing that. We only have one thing to emboss. There's actually not much of the cutting out kind of thing. So I think we're going to be okay as far as having the time to get things done. I have to move my teacup because it's too much shadow there. Oh boy, if I move my teacup, I'm going to forget that I have it there. And that's partly why I keep it there, because I get so parched just chattering away to try to keep... Silence is sometimes golden, but... You know, when you're just crafting along with somebody, it is not necessarily the case. So I have my laundry going, so you would hear it clunking back there, and you probably don't want to hear that either. All right, so I have all of my projects in little bags with my instructions, pretty much. This is actually my favorite one here on top. Did I take my cards up? I cannot believe I did. I am so efficient. I think I took my cards up. Maybe not. Maybe they're in this pack with everything. And I did save out my Christmas stamp. Sweet. because these are my old ones. These are, except for Jolly Delivery, this one is current. It's probably available right now. I really like this one. These are nice little images I will be able to use in any holiday, you know, house type store, street, whatever scene. I can still hear my voice. Let me get rid of my voice. There we go. I'm sure you couldn't hear it, but I could hear it. And then these little envelopes in the mailbox. So cute. You know, the paw prints are really cute too. So I do, and the thing about this set, you really want this set. I think I still have to do the set that I actually did with this paper and everything. So you'll still see this coming up, but I really like this. I've used this a number of times already. I did a Facebook Live showing you how to do it. It's super easy to do. And, but I'll be doing it again because I did it a slightly different way than I will be doing it in the official way. All right, so let's go ahead and get started before anything else goes wrong. So first of all, I do want to say that there was our join offer, which was a really, really good one. You're probably not going to get that great of an offer again for a while. When it does show up, take advantage of it because, yeah, they don't come all the time. So you definitely want to take advantage of it when you see it. And right now we're in the middle of holiday things, so sometimes again some things might sell out, but don't give up. Just keep going back. You will see it eventually. All right, so let me put this stuff over here on the side. Maybe I'll put it behind me where I can grab it quickly. And I'm always in a quandary. Do I want to sit or do I want to stand? Well, we'll stand for now. So this is DSP. I like to do fun folds for a variety of reasons, but one reason is to use up really nice DSP, especially if it's something that I have a lot of. We used to do, we're not doing, I don't know if you've heard, but we're not doing Celebration this year. In fact, we won't be doing it anymore. Celebration was a time that we demonstrators got tons and tons of paper. From our personal, you know, buying and from sales, we get lots and lots of paper. And so because of that, I have quite a few card designs that I like to go through just for the sake of having great things to use a bunch of DSP in. And that's partly what this collection is. So, where's the card? You've got to be kidding. So this pack is here. That pack is there. And that pack is there. Oh, there it is. Okay, well, I thought I had it. It's like, seriously, Catherine. All right, this is a little flip and tuck. I love this design. It's really cute. Here, let's show it to you. So it's not a belly band. I know it kind of looks like a belly band. We're going to do a belly band. And I just like to say the word belly band, belly band. It's not though, because it tucks under there, it opens up, you've got lots of room for beautiful DSP, plenty of room for writing. Okay, I really like this design. It actually is one that I came up with, although I'm sure many people have done it. There's nothing new under the sun, remember. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to just start real quick. I did not cut my DSP out for this. This one will be a little bit longer in the doing because I didn't do that, but it's actually also very, very simple. So I want you to see how fast these things can go. This is one reason that we do DSP type cards, because you are not having to make your own background. You're just using these beautiful papers, and these are really pretty ones. So let's grab I'm pretty sure I wrote out the instructions. Well, actually I didn't, because they're written right on my template. All right, so we have, first of all, this would be then our belly band, if you want to call it that. And I've already made it because you have to do a little corner rounding, and I don't have that stamp, that punch over here. It's not a punch we sell anymore, but it's a corner rounder that you do need. I just did kind of a sloppy job on it, so I'm cleaning that up a bit. But you do need a corner rounder to do this, okay? And so I'm not even going to bother showing it to you, but I'm going to just show you how you do it. So I cut my Pretty Peacock strip. I cut it 9 3/4. That's what this dimension is, okay? 9 3/4 inches long. Then I turned it and I cut this 3.5 inches long. And then you're going to turn it again. You're going to score this. This is scored at the 7 3/4 mark. This is scored at the 3.5 inch mark. Okay. Then once you've done that, what you do, let me show you, since I'm not going to be actually doing it, but let me show you. You take your cutting board and you take, because this would be a rectangle shape at this point before you've done these angles. You just take your point, stick it in there, and line it up against this fold line that you've made, and you cut off the corner there, and you turn it, and you do the same thing. You put the corner in here, the little pointy corner that you've got now, because you've got one off. And then you put your paper in here. You line up your fold where it's going to cut, and you cut, okay? Then you take your corner rounder, and you do the corner rounding on it, and it's ready to go. You've got it scored. You've got it ready to go. And now you're going to take a piece of Pool Party and cut it 4 1/4, and this is 11. So this is a double sheet that I just cut in half this way. 4 1/4 across, cut, take your 11-inch side and stick it in there, and then at 5.5 inches you score it, and now you're done with that. Okay, so now this is going to just go and get attached right in here. So let's see here. I'm going to use my card. Did I write down the name of somebody who I got this tuck and... There's a tuck and fold one that... Actually, they called it a fold and tuck. And I've been remiss about putting names of people because I only followed a few at the beginning of my career, if you want to call it that. And because it's just a hobby. And anyway, I didn't in this because this is an old one apparently. So, but it doesn't really matter. This is the part that you want to make sure it's not too low, too high. You're going to adjust it onto your belly band, which is not really a belly band. I've already got that part cut out. That's not even exactly the right size, so I'll have to remeasure that. I don't think it is. Is it? No, it is. It is correct. Okay, so I'm going to take this and stick it on here so that I know where I want to glue this, okay? Because I don't want this to be too high, I don't want it to be too low. So we're going to bring this down a bit. So let me tell you how big this piece is so that you know what I'm talking about. All right, this piece is 4.5 by 3 inches. And again, a Pretty Peacock, 4.5 by 3 inches. That's gonna go on here, and I wanna make sure it's positioned like right here with enough room on the top for me to add my little dots right there. Okay, so this is a good spot for it to be, and so I'm not gonna move that around anymore. I am gonna just kind of tip my card up so I don't move it, and we're gonna work off a glue lid. And I should have loosened that. I can use my teeth since you didn't have to see me doing that. All right, there we go. It is now loose and it's nice and gluey. Okay, so we're gonna get that stuck on here nice and proper. So Freddie, I hope you saw that. I didn't know about this viral video, which is kind of funny since I live right here. Supposedly there were black bears that broke into the Springfield Bass Pro Shop. You know, the Bass Pro Shop here is quite spectacular. I don't know if Bass Pro Shop has as good a one anywhere else. I know there are a bunch of Bass Pro Shops all around. There's one down in Branson. But the one here has a huge aquarium. It's got a huge aquarium. It has, you know, for viewing. It's an entertainment destination. There's a giant animal museum that you walk through that takes, for people who are challenged with walking, takes a long time. And too long, probably some of my friends would say. So I'm going to use this paper for this this one, and remember it was 4 inches by 3.5, I believe. So we're going to do it 3 3/4 by 3 1/4. Okay, but I'm going to just double check my measuring and make sure I don't cut this the wrong way, because I'm going to cut it 3 3/4. No, see, I would have cut it wrong. This is 3 inches by 4.5. So I'm going to cut it 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. That would have made a big difference. So because I'm saving this is my last sheet. You know, I don't want to waste it. I'm even saving this little scrap because I think this is the last sheet I have of this particular design. And it's my favorite one, by the way, out of this pack. So 2 3/4. We'll do that right now before I have a chance to blab anymore. And I'm going to do a hair more. Let's go 2 7/8. No, we're going to do just a 1/16 under 2 7/8 because I do want it to be pretty close to the edge. And then instead of 4 1/4, we're going to go just an extra 1/8 up. And this is my little extra piece that I don't want to lose. And we will see if this is going to work. I'm sure it will. And we'll glue that on so I don't have to mess with that anymore. But anyway, so the viral video that you've been seeing of black bears breaking in and eating the fish and breaking through the glass, which when I read that was like, that was a red flag. Yeah, we've been through that museum. There's absolutely no way that any bear could break through that glass. Unless he had brought like a giant sledgehammer and he could use his paws to wield it. There's no way. So when I saw that, I thought, it's very strange that I haven't heard this story since I just live here. And it looks so real. It really did. I'm probably the only one that thought it was real. I'm sure Freddie, you had a good laugh when you saw it. But anyway, it is not true. No bears have broken in there. But it probably has given them some really good... Bass Pro Shop's not going to be sad to have... In fact, they might have generated it. It's pretty good fake. Who knows? I don't know where it came from, but it didn't actually happen. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put the... We're going to glue this right down. A Fun Fold has enough levels to it that you do not need to add a lot of embellishment. I mean, dimensional foam, you know, adhesive to these things down. Now this little circle is going to get dimensionals because it kind of needs to be lifted. Make sure you're only gluing the part that's going to actually stick on here. We don't want any extra glue going all over the place. So this is going to go right here, down low enough to make sure that I can get my little dots up at the top. And it's going to get cold, super cold here. What? Why is my feed having an issue? Oh, that's a computer problem. You guys are fine. My computer's not running well, and I'm not surprised. They have been upgrading our internet, and you know what that's like when they upgrade things. It's like, well, while I see you guys digging holes and laying, you know, lines and doing all kinds of things like that, I'm not going to say too much about it. But on the other hand, when this project gets finished, here's my scrap that I'm going to do this little circle from. And you're going to want to take one of your pieces of DSP, like the back side of the one that I've just cut. And I think I've got a smaller version right here. And then we're going to do a smaller circle so it's layered. So we've got this and this layered with circles on the top. And then this is actually a little pine sprig that I have no clue where I got it from. I'm sorry. It's not from any of the sets that we have handy. Let me see if it's with my frost. No, because that was a frame, so that was not. Yeah, we'll skip that part. You can do any kind of sprig that you're getting from anywhere, but I don't have a sprig handy, so I'm not gonna take the time to do that because I want to actually get through all of these little fun folds for you. Okay, I'm gonna put you aside because I don't really need you anymore. And I did do these circles here too. Okay, I should have cut out another one because we need another one. So let's do that really quick. So we did that front one. This one's gonna be just a tiny bit bigger because I'm covering a little bit more of an area on it. So we're gonna go, well, we have part of it left right here. Let's use it. This is our 2 3/4 side. Let's measure and see where I want it to be because I actually want it to be just a tiny bit longer. All right, so we're gonna cover this little seam right here. That's partly why I want it the width that it is. Let's see what our border is gonna be. It's gonna be pretty good border there. So I actually want this piece to be 4, again, not 4 1/4, a little bit bigger. So 4 and there would be well, let's see, 1, 2, that'd be 2/3. We're gonna go a little bit bigger than that. You can always cut a bit off. Hard to add it back. Oh no, that's perfect, okay? So now we've got this piece. We'll glue this on here. Very cute. All right. And voila. Just make sure your borders are all nice and even. And then when we get out our circles, we'll do all of the circles. There's those 3. And then there's this little tiny, tiny strip that I've saved, partly why I'm saving this, just to go under here. So this looks like a 1/2 inch to me. And these are just little decorations that I decided on the, you know, on a whim. So I don't have them written out or anything. That's why these are, I think the other ones are all written out, so it'll take me less time to get through it. But we need this width right here, so we'll just use this little scrap at a 1/2 inch. Could be more, could be less, doesn't really matter. And then this part is gonna go right here, okay? Very cute. And that's decorating this inside part in a way that it's hidden until they open it up and then they get to see it. And it's just real pretty paper. If you've got any pretty paper, it'll work. You don't have to use this particular one. And at Christmas time, just isn't there so much nice Christmas paper all over the place? Don't you just love that? Hi, Karen. It is so nice to see you. Thank you for coming in here and saying hi to me. I really appreciate it. Keeping you guys all in our prayers, and thank you for keeping us in your prayers too. Really appreciate you guys so much. You guys have always done so many things for so many people. This is the time of the year with your grandkids right there with you that I bet you're really getting to enjoy time with them, and I'm so jealous. Although we did get to go see Mary and Jose and Julia and Catherine, and that was a real treat. So we have yet to go see the Idaho people. They're coming. We're coming. We're getting there. We just haven't gotten there yet. All right, so we are going to do the circles. So I'm getting out my my old circle, stitched circles. Now, you know, we have a nested dies set that has stitched circles, but I have like a whole bunch of my circles all kind of jammed together in one container, so it's not just one set. And I mix them because then they layer more. I can get more closer layers with it. And so with especially trying to get a DSP on top here, I'm gonna look specifically and see which ones I use to get. Now see, this one matches that one, not that one. All right, so let's see. This one is, this is my, looks like the one for the DSP. And I'm gonna get this one out. It looks like. I think that's gonna be a match right there, okay? Now this one would work, it's just that it's gonna leave a little bit bigger of a border than I want.
Do you see how much of a big border that is? I don't want that much of a border. I want a smaller border, but enough of a border to see it. So I believe this is the combination I used. So let's before we do this, let's get these circles done too. This one looks like a bigger stitch. So that one is this one, and then this one must be, well, actually, it looks like it's this one. It is. Two different sets that I've pulled in here. I mean, again, this is why you don't get rid of your things. Keep those things. You will need them. And then we'll give this a go. It's hard for me to crank this thing when I have it up this way, but I keep blocking your view of everything I do, so I'm gonna have to do it. I gotta just figure it out anyway. So this part's gonna go like that. We're gonna do 2 of these in one, just so that I can get this done a little quicker for you. Okay, and let's see if we can get that through, and then we'll pull out that other paper and get that cut too. And I got a bonus pretty peacock there as well, which I won't need, so I'll just pull that one off. If you wanted to stiffen up the thing, you could do that. It wouldn't hurt it at all. And we'll put that one aside. Let's go ahead and glue that right now while I'm looking at it. Okay. And so what is your weather like? We are going to get super cold weather this over the weekend and in Monday and Tuesday, and then it's supposed to go back to normal, but down to 20 something, 22, 20 something. I don't know. I'm not looking forward to that, is for sure. That's going to be kind of cold. All right, so for this piece, actually, am I using this side? I don't remember what. Yeah, I am. I'm using this side, and I do want the part that's showing a lot of this white. I think all of it, in fact. So I'm going to just take my scissors and cut around this part of the paper that I want, and then I'm using actually a whole different sheet for the other circle. So we'll go ahead and cut this one out. Anyway, I see my clouds have come back and covered everything. So much for our sun. It's cut pretty much of a hit and miss right now. All right, and now I'm going to have to move this just so that I can see what paper I'm using for this bigger circle. All right, let's go ahead. This is the circle that I'm going to use. I'll stick it up here so I don't lose it. Let's put these circles away. Because I do have to, because of the spacing, I do have to kind of keep the sets together to nest them so I can actually have room for all of these in here. And I do need a rectangular, I wonder what that one is. I bet this one that I used is branching out. So this sheet is real pretty too. I do really like it. It's right here. And I want one of those snowflakes to just, it's not really a snowflake, is it? It looks like a snowflake, but it's pine boughs or spruce boughs. They're real pretty. I need this to be right here. It doesn't have to be exact, but I want one in there. I'd like it to be perfectly centered. I bet you I could get this one almost perfectly centered. Not that one. I don't want to ruin like a whole sheet just getting one perfectly centered. We'll do this one, okay? So I've got it centered in there really well. So I'm gonna just go ahead and cut my DSP so that I can see. Because I want my stitchery to be faced up. So I don't want to put it down, you know, the other way. You want to be able to see that design right in the middle of your die. And all my stitching will be up. And there's that one. And we'll put this die away before I lose it. And I'll fix that later. All right. And then we'll glue these on like this. Okay, so we put the, oops, let me throw that scrap away. I don't need that. All right, so cute. And this is gonna go like here, and this is gonna go like here. We're gonna just glue those right on. If you are getting a Christmas card from me that is a fun fold, believe me, you are getting something special. It's cooler there, sunny part of the day. Uh-oh, Karen, I know I saw that coming through, and I'm so sorry if that was a surprise to you. I figured it wasn't, really. The thing is about Michelle, unfortunately, Michelle's mom is in hospice care, and she is with Michelle now in their home, but Michelle's got her hands full. So, the good news is that even though you have temporarily dropped, I want you back. So anytime you want to come back, you're welcome. As anyone always is, you're always welcome to come back. It happens. Life happens. All right, so we're going to take this little tag and we're going to stick dimensionals under it. You know, it looks kind of small, doesn't it? It's really small. I'm going to live with it, but I should have done the bigger circles. Obviously, I wanted the bigger circles because this is looking kind of tiny. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just cut the bigger circles because I don't want it to be too tiny. It could even be bigger than what I had. You know, bigger wouldn't hurt. But I loved the paper so much that I wanted to make sure that the paper stayed as the focus. So let's try this bigger circle. I don't think that's the one. It must have been this one. It is. It's this one. And then if that's the one that I used for the circle, yeah, it is quite a bit. I'll save that. Who knows? I might use that still. Although I am actually all done with it. And I'm going to stick with the same set. I think it's going to be okay because I just don't want to be taking too much time to hunt through anything else on that. So let's grab this. And I think if I just cut this little edge off, we can get this. Oh, I only need this much. All right, and my pretty peacock, I put all of that away, but I'm going to need more of it anyway, probably. So, pretty peacock. Anyway, I am sorry that I didn't, personally let you know about that. I figured you'd be fine. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate you very much. And unfortunately, right now, a lot of the things you might want, if they were for Christmas, they are, the gingerbread is available. Now, the gingerbread is actually probably my favorite Christmas thing that they had out, which was a surprise to me because I actually already have a gingerbread man that I like pretty well, but he didn't have dies. And I do really like dies. I like dies so much more than punches, like tremendously more. And so, anyway, let's see if this circle's going to be big enough. Yes, yes, yes. And actually, I want this back side anyway. I had the wrong color going on it, didn't I? So, anyhow, I'm going to just cut this on the side over here since I'm just trying to catch up to where we were. My house is smelling like cauliflower, and I did bake the cauliflower, so it does help the odor some, but I have all of my little scent things going because I eat a ton of vegetables every day now. So I've got my cauliflower done for a few days, and and the thing that made our house really reek right now is the broccoli. I've got broccoli all done, ready for me. I'm the only one eating it. I saved some raw broccoli out that I eat once in a while, but I also save it out for Jeff. He'll eat it raw, but he won't touch cooked broccoli. I don't know why. I actually really love it. Okay, so this is how this piece is supposed to be. It's not this DSP, it's the reverse of that side. And then we're going to put our little mini dimensionals, not the mini ones. Let's do the regular sized ones. We're going to put those on, and I want to make sure it's kind of like over here, like that. In fact, over here would be even better. Okay, now the problem is you've got to be careful not to get this point under so far that it gets difficult to tuck it in. So I'm not going to put it quite as far over as I probably would have liked, because I'm afraid that just would make it really hard to tuck in. I've got my last sheet here that I really want to get rid of. So I'm going to put this one here. Now I know I don't want to go any farther over to this side. I'm going to keep them all on this side, and then we'll be good. We'll have plenty of room. Anyway. All right. So the highest compliment you can pay somebody here is that you really put your foot in it. Now that is really funny, because I would have thought anything having to do with really putting your foot in it would mean, is this true? For those of you who are local Southerners, tell me if this is true, because these are the kinds of things I read in my Southern Living magazine that I often think, are these things really true, or are they just, because I really put my foot in there. It sounds to me like I had a terrible accident of some kind, but apparently it's a very big compliment. So I'm really putting my foot in it to get this card going, okay? I don't know if that's really true, so please correct me. I like to be corrected because I don't like to look like a fool 2 times. Looking like a fool on the same thing once, it's kind of a given, and I've gotten really used to that, but I'd rather not do it 2 times, especially on the same thing. But, you know, I'm even telling myself that's going to happen too, so just get real about it, because, you know, that's what happens. Now we need this little label, so we'll use some white cardstock, and in Pretty Peacock, we've got to find a nice Merry Christmas, a really good Merry Christmas. Okay, it's got to be kind of bold, not too bold. Let's see what I've got. There it is. This is perfectly plaid. That's the one I want. So nice. I really liked this perfectly plaid. This was a really good set. Thanks, Karen. You have a great day. And Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. It's not Christmas yet, but it is coming. Now, I missed the C there. Because it looks like my pad's getting a little dry. I'm going to have to get my Pretty Peacock inker out and ink that sucker up. You know, that's a pretty old pad. I've had that one for a long time, and the thing I found out is that truly, I think Stampin' Up! Is probably correct about its 3 years. Is it a 3-year limit on those? You know, if something goes wrong with your pad, if it's less than 3 years, they'll let you get a new one if you call them and say, look, not that you've used up the ink. That's not what I'm talking about. I mean, if the pad starts to go bad, some of them do. Now, my Pretty Peacock never has. That one is one of my oldest ones with the new design. And it is not a problem at all. You know what I just discovered? Branching out. Now these are current dies, and I love these. I'm sure they're unavailable right now. I'm so sorry. They were like a couple of weeks ago. Maybe they're back now, but they have these wonderful nested, you know, shapes that it doesn't have this one. I'm gonna have to go find that one, but it does have the sprig that I made with this. So we're gonna go ahead and cut that sprig out. It is Old Olive or Pear Pizzazz. I'm not real sure which. I'm gonna just grab a Pear Pizzazz because I see a scrap of it right here handy. And so I am gonna just grab a scrap of square and cut that out. But anyhow, that's where I got that little sprig from, is from the branching out. I don't do tutorials anymore that are written, like I said, but on these videos you will always hear what I'm using unless it's a sentiment. Sometimes I have so many sentiments and I'm gonna just, you know, pull them out and stick them on, and then I put the stamp set away, and I'm sorry, sometimes I don't remember to write that down, and so sometimes you don't hear the sentiment. But okay, so we're gonna put that on after we get that cut out. But that's where that little sprig came from. I'm so glad to see it. Now I'm gonna grab out just any old kind of a, you know, a little die that is shaped similar to that branching out. That's what I did. Now this has a collection of many things. My label just says large to medium labels. That just means I've collected these like from a whole bunch of different sets, and I happen to just know that that one fits this one perfectly just from having tried it out a bunch of times. So I'm gonna put the words like kind of on the edge so that I can get my little sprig on there and see that really well. Okay. All right. And once we get to the other card, then I'll start showing you anything I might be cutting out, but I don't think there's much left to cut out actually. So when I cut this out though, what I did is I just put the words more on this side so that my little sprig can fit on top there. You want to glue the sprig right there. It can't be glued on the part that's going to get tucked. You cannot glue it there at all. Okay, so I'm going to keep that tucked so I can kind of see what's going on. I'm going to take this and glue it right on here first. I want most of that sprig to get glued, so it kind of matters where my tag is. Okay, so I just put glue there. I'm going to put a dimensional underneath this side of it here in a minute, but let's glue some. Oops, I don't really want much of that. I'm going to turn it more like this since I did that. I actually didn't want a lot of glue on that side. And I'm not doing any little pieces of dimensional or anything like that on this sprig. That's just going to be way too much trouble. All right, so we've got that glued on there. Okay. And then all you need are some cute little dots to finish that out. And let me grab my dots. These are pretty old, but they had the Old Olive ones, which matches my Pear Pizzazz color. So I'm just putting 2 of those here. I'm gonna put, well, I don't know, maybe I'm not gonna put 2. There's 1. There's really not, I didn't really leave room there. So I'm gonna put 2 there instead, okay? And then these are really pretty though. I love those. And there's nothing on the inside. We've just got our little circles in there. That just tucks in underneath there. Real easy. And then we've got those kind of, they're iridescent, aren't they? They're awfully pretty. Let me see what those are called. These were called faux glass dots, the old olive ones. And these are not the same, but they will work. This one's called Low Profile Sparkle Dots. I really like these. They're pretty. They're not quite pear or pretty peacock, but they're close. And they do actually have really lovely green ones here that are like old olive. So I'll just slide that on there. Oops. Come on, you can stay. The thing is, try not to adjust this too many times because eventually that adhesive is going to decide to stick. You kind of need to be where you want it. Okay, perfect. There you go. So it's slightly different than those, but I'm not sure what those were. Sorry, I couldn't find them quick enough. We are on to the next fun fold. All right, so that was that one. Now for this one's a super easy one. This one has got a belly band, okay? So there's your belly band. What you're going to do is you're going to take a piece of Pool Party for this one, cut it at 9 1/4 of an inch, okay? And then 5 1/2 inches across. And then you're going to slide it in. Let me take this one that I've already done. Slide it in. You're going to score this at 2 1/2 inches and 5 inches. And there are the dimensions. 9 1/4 across this way. Okay, so 9 1/4. Turn it, cut it again, 5 1/2. Turn it back again, slide it in, and score it at 2 1/2. And at 5 inches, and now you have a nice little joy fold. And then our DSP is 2 1/4 by 5 1/4, and all you're gonna do is just glue this right on to your Pool Party piece. Okay, there goes one on here. Okay. And then one on here. Same ones, okay? 2 1/4 and 5 1/4. They're both exactly the same size. And those get put on right there. So another thing that you can say for the South, I guess, although I've never heard anyone say can't, never could. It does sound very Southern though. I think most people are very positive in general here. Maybe they are everywhere, but here it just seems like people are pretty positive. Okay, now for our belly band. We are going to have to cut that one, I think, because I'm not seeing it in there. So let me grab a piece of Pool Party. I'm shocked that I don't have it done, in fact. Oh, wow. Pool Party, where are you? Point. I might have to get out a whole sheet. I thought I had a pretty good, there it is. Okay, so here we go. So the belly band needs to be 9 1/4 of an inch long. Now let me remove some of these items so that I can actually see what's going on here. Because right at the moment I can't. Put that away. And we'll slide this to the side so you can see my dimensions. There's the DSP that we just cut and put on. The belly band is going to be 1 1/2 inches by 9 1/4. I don't think I really need this piece of Pear Pizzazz. And then we're going to just do labels from that branching out die set from Pool Party and white and stamp it. There's this wonderful old olive ribbon you definitely want for this. The ribbon is what's going to make this. So you definitely want to have some Pool Party. It's an organdy, you know, nice, very nice. So belly band 1 1/2. Oops, it's upside down. Let me try that again. 1.5 inches long by 9 1/4. Okay, 9 1/4. And then we're going to score that at 2.5. Okay, scored at 2.5 and 7. And that is the part that will attach to the labels, and we'll get those cut out. Okay, I think, yes, I'm going to be able to use this piece. So that's the belly band. I'm going to fold that so I can remove my instructions here. And we will get those labels cut out. Oops, sorry about that. Man, that was loud. When Jeff is not downstairs, well, it's worse when he's down here. He's at work, thankfully, because, man, and I try not to let things fall, but they do. And then it gets super loud. I understand that. Really, really loud. Now, this has some really nice big dies. We don't need the biggest one. So with my, I've got 2 white ones. The little inside one is going to be this white one. So we'll pull that one out. And then we need this bigger one. Not that one. That one's too big. The next one. So it's the 3rd one up. That one will be white. And so this one must be, no, it's not that one. Are you on the other side? Yes, you are on the other side, apparently. Yes, so this is the pool party one. So we'll cut that out. Just one of those. Anyway, so can't, never, could just means if you don't think you can do this, then you never will do it. You can do it. If I can do it, anyone can do it. It's just a matter of, and that's one reason I like to do these videos and do them live. And you can see my mess ups, and then you can see how easy it is to actually fix those. Sometimes I do have to, like those circles. I just didn't like the result. I know I can use those circles in another way at another time, so I'm not saving that. I mean, I can save it for later, but not for this project, or the last one, actually. We're gonna just cut out new circles, because I can. It's not a big deal. And so another reason why it's nice to be part of a team, just because when you can see how many people have these same issues, you don't feel like you're the only one that doesn't know, how to do these things, and you get confused and all. You see that? Yeah, it happens to everybody pretty much. All right, so now for this one, this white one, we're just going to use, I'm going to just cut this one on the side for this one. It's just a plain piece of white cardstock with that bigger die, and then we will get, actually in one pass, I'll do this one too, because I think my stamp, I better check to see if the stamp I'm using is a photopolymer one or not. If it's a photopolymer one, then I can cut it ahead of time. But if it's not, then I definitely can't. And I don't see it because this says 'tis the season to be jolly, and I'm not seeing that. So I'm going to have to do different ones anyway. Okay, are these, this is photopolymer, this one isn't. So those all are. Let's see. They need to be pretty big stamps. And they kind of have to be narrow. So we can do Merry Christmas and may this special season be wrapped in love and joy. I think that will fit. I'm going to get my die out and let's see if it really will. No, it won't. So, complications. So let's get out this greetings of the season. Oh, may your holiday season be filled with warmth and cheerful celebration. That probably will fit, although that's generally not a sentiment I probably would use, but it really doesn't fit either. It's a little too wide for this. And I could do it a little bigger, but I don't want to. So let's see what we've got that will work. That one almost would work. What's that one? It's the most wonderful time of the year. I could probably almost get that one to work. We've got enough separate ones in this set that I think I can make this work. I do really like 'Tis the Season to Be Jolly. It's nice and big. I liked it to go with all of the, you know, the pines and everything. So if I see it over here, and all of my Christmas stamps, I have put those, except for what I thought I was using, away, back in a back room. I have a bunch of wooden blocks back there too. A bunch of Christmas ones, actually. It's quite a few, because when I was first starting out with those wooden blocks, you know, Christmas was pretty much what I bought a lot of. I didn't have the money to spend on all of these other things. So, there we go. So again, branching out is what this one was. And if it's not available now, it will be eventually. So don't give up on it. So what I'm going to do is take this larger white one. We're going to fit the belly band onto, oh, where did my card go? Well, I don't see it, but anyway, we'll just use our dummy one here that's the same anyway. And it's already scored, so you can see it's going to slide up and down really easily. It's just going to go right underneath. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this. This is going to go on the back. This is going to be the front. Okay, so since this is the back anyway, I'm going to go ahead and just glue this and seal the deal. Okay, like that. And then hold on to it so that it's nice and sealed, because it will pop open if you start sliding it on and off quite a lot. And now we can just put this, we're going to layer this right on here. Okay, so we'll get the stitchery part up right. And I'm going to just put this on the belly band. Attach that on where I want it, and then the pool party goes on top of that with glue. And then this last one is the one that will have embellishments to raise it up, because we want the label, the ribbon to go underneath the, let's move that over just a tiny bit. There we go. All right, so we need our old olive ribbon to go underneath that white one. Let me grab my scissors. Get my scissors. And you know what? I guess the ribbon I'm using must be an old one, because I'm not seeing it here with my new thing. So let me grab it. I can see it right here. This is one of my favorite ones. In fact, organdy is actually a color, you know, I really love organdy ribbons. They don't always lay nice, but generally they do. They're thin. They're easier for me to work with. And we're going to go 2 times on this, so that under that. So we're going to put the bow on this side. So 1, 2. I still have quite a bit, so let me go like that. 1 and 2. Make sure that's not twisted underneath there. Oops. Let's do the loop on this side. So because I left that side just a little shorter, so we'll do the loop on that side. Come on. Organdy is kind of slippery. It's the only thing about it, but it is very slim, you know, so it usually tucks in there pretty good. If I can just get my fingers to work, I'll go this way. It'll be a little easier for me. All right, there we go. Okay, doing a bow online, you know, live is always a challenge. That one actually turned out pretty good. Now, did I leave my scissors over there? No, I didn't. Good, because my ends actually look pretty good, but I'm going to trim that one just a little bit. All right, so now we're going to slide it over just a tiny bit. Make sure there's plenty of room for my sentiment to show up on here. And then this is going to go here after we've stamped it. And you can separate your ribbons, you know, so that you can see that you did a nice double layer there. Very pretty. Yeah. Wish I knew what set I'd used for that. I bet I wrote it down in the newsletter. I should have looked at it, but I didn't. That's upside down. So we've got a lot of good things. Wishing you Merry Christmas, and you can do all of that. So we've got lots of words. That's one reason I really like this Greetings of the Season. It might be a new set, but it might not be. I don't know. There's always so many new things, and I just can't keep track of it. And I've sort of given up on keeping track because it doesn't really matter anyway. If you had really wanted it, the problem is that it's likely that at the moment you wanted it, it might have been out of commission temporarily. This is Pool Party, unavailable, and that doesn't even matter either, because you can just keep coming back. You'll find something good. So wishing you so we've got part of it. Okay, we'll put that one away. We'll find, you've got Happy Christmas, you've got Merry Christmas. Let's see if Mary's gonna go there, and then Christmas is gonna go here. Wishing you a Merry Christmas. And all the other things I wanted to do are not going to fit on there. Wishing you a Merry Christmas. We're going to just go with wishing you a Merry Christmas. And I'm going to do it separate so that I can make sure that it stretches out kind of the way I want it to. And we'll even do it on an angle, I think, here. Since we've got Christmas is kind of, oops, I flubbed there, but that's okay. We're going to just cover that with dots, I suspect. And Merry and Christmas. There we go. Okay, so you can see my nice lines that I've got there, very sloppy. Wishing you a Merry Christmas, and I put Mary in the wrong spot. There we go. I don't see anything else that I can add that would really work. There are a lot of doodads that are kind of nice you could do, I suppose, but I think we're going to just leave that. And we're going to just have a bunch of little dots on there. So instead of those dots being a nice straight across on this one, we're going to do them diagonal, since I've made a big mess on that. Okay. Now for this one, I don't have any white in here to write on, so you would be writing with your pen, and you know this does limit you with having to write more right behind here and on this side. I mean, that's the one flaw with this sort of a design, but it still works. All right, I'm going to use up my scrap dimensionals. Right there. And there. And there. All right, I got a whole bunch of scraps. I'm on my last sheet on this one. It's always good to see it end because it's like, oh, seriously. It goes forever. So the dimensionals are actually a really good bargain. I would definitely get them. They're nice sized. You can get mini ones. They stick really well. Sometimes the other knockoff versions, they just don't stick quite as good. At least that's been my experience. Okay, so there we go. And then the dots to cover up my mistake. And then I'll find my card. The one I was actually making, it's sort of like disappeared on me. I don't know how, but it managed to. The one that yeah. Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, good. Good. Okay. Oh, so this is the way I did it. So I have dots up here too, and those are those same dots, and I do really like those. I don't know that I'm going to do it on this one. We'll see. I'm going to use these same sparkly ones. They're very pretty. And I think these are big enough to... I'm going to grab my tweezers because I definitely want to cover up my line here. We'll stick with all these big ones because I think they'll do it. They'll do the job for me. There we go. And one more. There we go. All right. That is that. I think I will go ahead and use these little teeny tiny ones right here. The three in the top are always really cute. There we go. Isn't that sweet? All right, so you just do what you can. Make a mess, fix it. It's not that hard. All right, last one, right? I think so, because on this one, I'm going to just tell you what to do. I won't have time to go through this fourth one. Now, this is the easiest one to do. You're going to do 11 by 5.5. So you take, this one's a little bit bigger. You take your white cardstock with the 11-inch side this way, and you cut a 5.5 inches here, and that's it, okay? Because you've got 5.5 inches here, because you want it to be 11 inches long. And then you're going to turn it this direction, and on this long side, you score it at 2.5 inches. And at 6 3/4 of an inch. That's what that is, 6 3/4 of an inch. And your DSP is, you're going to do 2 of these now, one here and one here. This is 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. You're going to glue that on that strip. Same thing here, 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. Glue it down. This side, 4 inches across by 5 1/8. Now this one I went ahead and I glued it down, and then I embossed snowflake die or embossing sheet. Is it this one? Winter snow. It actually is not winter snow because I see little dots in there too. So I did it with probably a couple. I probably did it with winter snow and maybe something else. I don't know because I see dots. But I see them in this design too, which is kind of pretty, why I liked doing this. So it's debossed on this one, embossed on this, and it's just this side. I didn't do any of the rest of it. Okay, you're just folding it up. Then it's the same branching out dies. I did a white one, one of the larger ones, and then garden green. And then I stamped with some garden green on, on white cardstock with my words that were, actually those words were from Frosted Foliage, and I used that Frosted Foliage stamp. I stamped it off several times before I did that. And then we have these really wonderful iridescent dots. They're really, really pretty. And I'm quite sure those are still available. So you want those. They're really nice. I forget exactly what they're called. But they're iridescent. They might be part of this pack. Maybe. It seemed to me like we had a pack that was separate, but was just that color. But it might be this one. This one's Frosted Iridescent Dots. Gorgeous. You want those dots. They're really pretty. They make those little snowflakes stand out really nice. So if you want to message me, I will send you the dimensions on this one, since I'm not going to get to make it. Okay? But you have to Facebook message me for it, and then I will just say, could I have the written dimensions for whatever this week is? What is this week? I don't even know. It's November something, and there was a terrible election that went really badly a couple of days ago. That's all I know. All right, so for this fun fold, this is a really cute one. You're going to like this. This goes super fast because I've got it already done. I'm not going to do these sprigs because I think I threw away no, I did keep it. There it is. Sweet. My sprigs. Maybe I'll do it. We'll see. So this one's a big one. Okay, so you need to take your cardstock. I've already done it with this one because it's Pretty Peacock again. And for this one, is that really 8 3/8? I better get my ruler out because is that really what it is? I'm not sure. Let's look. It's 8 inches wide, okay? So you're gonna cut your Pretty Peacock 8 inches by 8.5, okay? So you got 8 by 8.5, and then you have your DSP panels, okay? So we're gonna fold this so you can hopefully see this. Oh, I forgot. You're going to score it. On each side is a 2-inch score. So you push it in 2 inches and you score. You push it again to the 6-inch level and you score it, and that gives you 2 inches on either side. So we have this wonderful little gatefold. It's very cute. Okay, it's a very cute card. It's nice, slim, skinny. It's kind of fun. All right, and now we're going to do our DSP. The DSP panels are 1 7/8 by 8 3/8. Ah, yeah, 8 3/8. It's not leaving hardly any border at all. It needs to be a very, very skinny border, and we're going to do 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Okay, you want them on all these sides. All right, so to do that, these are skinny, skinny little DSPs. So what I am going to do here is I am going to put my glue on over on the side here. I love this DSP because it is, that black is really stunning. It's a very different design, a different Christmas color for me. I like to stick with green and red, but I love Pretty Peacock. It's one of my favorite colors. And when we did Pretty Peacock, originally Stampin' Up! Had a little peacock stamp set that went with it. It was so cute. I really like it. I still have it. I never use it, which is sad because it's one of my favorite ones. I just don't ever have time, it seems like, to get to it. But it also has some of the most beautiful DSP with it. Now, to do this, you kind of need to get these together so you can see. Make sure it's all lined up nice and even. Okay, so we got those two. Again, that dimension is 1 7/8 1 7/8 by 8 3/8, which to me is saying that that must be 8 1/4 inches long, right? Is that what I said earlier? I think so, as far as the whole card size, which is a little bit long, I think, for these slim ones, but you know, I've got envelopes that will fit it, and actually I have an envelope template that I like to make for my thin cards, and so not a big deal. All right, so this is, let me show you again, the paper, this is the black one. There's only a couple of sheets of this, and it's this really pretty green on the back side, which was on that other fun fold, and I really liked that one. All right, this is a super easy one to do. So now we're almost done. Now all you're doing is taking your another piece of pretty peacock, another piece of DSP. We're gonna cut this. This one is 3 inches by 4 inches, and so this must be 2 7/8 by 3 7/8. Okay, leaving a very, 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 very tiny border on that. And that's why I'm gluing on the side, because I need a glue that's going to give me some time to squiggle it around. Okay. Because there's barely any border showing there. Barely. Okay, right like that. And then that piece is going to go on this side. Okay, let me attach this one before I attach that. This piece is 3 inches by 6 1/2 inches. And so your DSP for that is 2 7/8 by 6 let's see, that looks almost like a 16th there, but it should be 2 where's my ruler? I always forget these dimensions, so I have to get, here's my fancy ruler that tells me everything, because I don't know otherwise. So let's see, it's 6 1/16, or you could go 5/16, not 1/16, 3/8. That's it. It's 3/8. Good grief. Okay, I have to say it again now. 2 7/8 by 6 3/8. Yes. Okay. There we go. Yes, math is not my strong suit, okay? It's fine. I get along just fine. I just know if you're going to be laying floor, painting, or anything, just go have them come in and measure for you and make sure everything is fine, because you don't want to have my measurements for sure. And actually, Jeff's a lot better than I am, but it doesn't even matter which of us is doing. It's the same deal. All right, so we're going to put glue on this side and glue it to this one. This is a really cute fun fold too. Again, way to use, like I love this black DSP, but I don't love it that much. I don't want it to be sticking around after Christmas. This is good. Oops, don't do that. I'm actually going to take another piece and glue right on here because that was dumb. I did not want to do that. So we're going to do, how much again? 2 3/4 by, oh, let me just read my instructions here. 2 3/4 by, no, 2 7/8 by 6. No, 6 1/2 by 3. That's not correct. I think I adjusted her directions, because that's not what I just said. So 2 because it is 3 by 6 1/2. Okay, I'm gonna cut another piece of pretty peacock to just glue on there, just because if I don't, I'm gonna have, it's gonna be sticky, and I don't I don't want it to be sticky, and I actually am going to be using this card, so no good to be sticky. So we want 3 inches and 6.5 inches. Okay, and then I'm gonna just glue that onto this one. Now this is a part you didn't need to do because hopefully you didn't just do what I did, but now I don't have a glued back that I can't really handle at all. Okay, so there we go. Now, put glue just on the side you're gonna be laying it down on. That's what happens when you're talking the whole time. You should do dumb things. Okay, there we go. So center it. And if you put glue the way you're supposed to, like I did this time, it won't glue this flap. This flap goes down. This one's going on top. So we'll make sure we glue just the side that's getting stuck on there. And this one we're gonna move it over here a bit because I want to have a nice border on this side. Okay, so there's that. And now all we need are these little labels from Branching Out. Okay, and I just stamped right on top of that Pear Pizzazz. Pear Pizzazz is a good choice for this one. Love and Joy and To You and Yours. It's very cute. It's from this set. Love and Joy from you. You know, because this one's just a little too big. Wow, it's just a little too big, okay? It's very annoying, but oh well. Love and Joy. That's a good one, though. I do like that. You could say Happy Holidays. That season's greetings. That would all work, too. Where are you, Love and Joy? There you are, Love and Joy. You want your pretty peacock now. I had it out. What did I do with it? What did I do with my ink? There's pool cotton. Now I've got so many things out. This is when I start having a hard time finding everything because I have too many items out. There you are. Ooh, pretty peacock. All right, now I do need to see how big this die is to actually, and since it's a photopolymer, then I'm gonna go ahead and cut it out, and then we'll cut out our pretty peacock piece. While I'm doing that, let's grab out this die. That's our little Branching Out die. Now we'll cut that out too. And actually you would want to cut 2 of those out. It's one single one is going to be way too flimsy, and you're not going to be able to really make much work with that. So you would want to have 2 of those. Okay, so I've got my label, and we've got one of the little Branching Out sprigs, but we need 2 of them, at least 2, and 3 wouldn't be bad either. You just need to, they need to be stronger. One's just not enough, and I think I have enough here in my scrap to maybe get 1 more. I don't know that I could get 2 more, but I can get 1 more anyway with this little scrap. And I'm doing it with meadow, mossy meadow wouldn't be bad either. So we'll glue those 2 together in a second. Put that away. And Love and Joy, right there. And To You and Yours. To You and Yours. like the photopolymer. It's so much nicer to be able to stamp right where you can see where you're stamping. Really handy. All right, so again, that stamp set, if you're wondering what I'm using is, we'll get to it here in a moment. Greetings of the season. Okay, and you gotta have those branching out dies. That's what's gonna make it. Oh, we still need that pretty peacock background. So we'll get the next die up from that one. I think that's the size I used. Yes, it is. Okay, so let me cut out a piece of pretty peacock with that, and we'll be all done. It's an amazing thing when you can get this many things done in one go. But it does help to have things already cut out so that you can do that. You really can't do it if you're gonna be trying to cut everything in one shot. If some things are already done ahead of time, you can do it. All right, so we'll glue this one on because there's no ribbon. I don't have any ribbon or anything tying this one, although whenever you have gatefolds or joy folds or anything that's kind of a multiple layer, it's nice to have something to fasten it, tie it, but sometimes it just doesn't look quite right. So we're gonna glue this one down. I don't need to have any dimensions because it's thick enough, especially since I had to put that extra pretty peacock piece on the back side. At least that's laying down nice because it's so heavy, because I had to do that. All right, very nice. So cute. And then we're gonna do our sprigs together. So let me grab a little scrap of something here so that I can put some glue on one. Get rid of that little extra piece from that sprig. So we're gonna just glue one. You could tape it, that would work too. But I use a lot of glue. I'm a glue fiend, apparently. I use a ton of it. So just lay it on there, make it match up pretty close. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then this one, though, I do want those dimensionals on it. It's gonna make it stand up a little bit. This double thickness helps it. And I'm just using little minis pieced together to be on this inside part. Now you do want, if you don't want to use a gel pen, you're going to need to put white in here or vanilla or something to write on, but I actually like the way it looks. So for me, I'll just make sure I use a gel pen on that one. So we're going to do dimensionals, and because it's a black background, I think my minis are going to work pretty well that are the black ones. Right there. So let me grab my scissors that I don't mind gummying up, because these little minis can be cut right in half. Pretty small. And then I might be able to do the stems here a little easier. Let's see. There's one. And another one right there. And another really skinny one, since I cut it right there. And then we can use a regular mini without any cutting on it, I think, for this inner part right there. And there's another half of a one there. And another half right there. Okay. That should stay pretty good. Let's get these guys off. Ha. There you go. surprisingly have got quite a few of our Christmas presents already purchased, which that's not necessarily a good thing, because what that means is that I'm going to have to have a huge shipping cost. So I found really good deals and thought these are so cute. Our cute grandkids will love them. But on the other hand, every time I've ever done that before, I've regretted it because the shipping costs are so exponentially high. All right, there we go. And I can get free shipping, you know, if I just ordered it. Isn't that cute? So do you have gifts sent or do you actually mail gifts? The problem when I have them sent is that the kids have to wrap them. So I'm counting on them to get them wrapped, and they can and all of that. It's just that they're busy parents, and I remember what it was like having to do that from the things you're doing yourself. I don't really want to pile that burden on them. And I actually like wrapping and all of that. I don't have a lot of Christmas wrap left anymore because I don't live where our grandkids are, so I have stuff shipped. And they wrap it. But this year, we will see. We will see. All right, so those are the projects I did. I didn't get those matched up as well there, but that's okay. Oh, the dots. Those are those iridescent dots I told you about. They're so pretty. And I thought I put them away, and now I don't even see them, so I'm not going to worry about it. I will get them later. There are other dots you could do too. These were pretty, but I actually think you could get any dot and put on there because they'd be absolutely beautiful. So these are the projects we did, and I hope that you have a wonderful day throughout your whole day. We kind of did that one. There's that one. Now make sure that you, if you do want that one, you can message me and I will let you know. But you have to do it on Facebook. I don't look at any YouTube messages. You can do it from my website and just give me an email, or you can message me on Facebook and I'll see that. And so the Fun Folds, mini Fun Folds video. Just say, can I have the dimensions for the card from your Mini Fun Folds video? That would be sweet. And then I do believe we are finished. Now I have been in a fun fold mood. So we've been just doing fun fold after fun fold. And so next week, I suspect there's another. Now next week, I bet. Oh, I don't think next week's a fun fold. I think it's that snowflake mask thing, which I really enjoyed. The Jolly Delivery still coming up. We've got that one to do, and trying to think of what other one. There's a couple more that are packaging ones, I believe. And anyway, you just stick with me. There'll be fun things. These videos are posted every week, but I just never know for sure what day it's going to be. It just totally depends on what day that Jeff is working. So today is his day that he was working. So today is the day for the video, and I will see you sometime next week. Have a wonderful week, a very blessed weekend. Go to church, enjoy worshiping the Lord. He's good. All right, and take care. Bye.